I mean, at that time, I like would have killed to go to Juilliard because I was so sucked into that whole vibe, and
Mm-hmm.
their whole vibe is like, oh, we're the kindest people in theater, and here, like, you get to be your most artsy self, and this is the most serious place on earth to pursue acting. And oh God, I remember after there were for the final callback, you just take different classes while you have your like number as a sticker on your like chest, and then
Mhm.
people are coming in and out watching, taking notes. And then it's just like taking normal acting classes. And then there were many sessions where you would sit around in a circle and talk about like how that felt for you. And then I just remember like there were so many talented people because half of them are BFAs, and then half of them are MFAs. That's how their classes made up. Made
Mhm.
up like
Mm-hmm.
8 young people and 8 older people, and they make one class each year.
Mm.
But every time you see like the younger people, they're so talented because they're just coming out of high school and just they somehow know how to do all this. And then I remember this one girl, she was really pretty, blonde, like really innocent looking, and every time after an exercise, like an exercise would be like us closing our eyes, imagining we were like on a carpet, and imagine the carpet starts moving, and like, what do you smell? What do you feel? You know? And then she was like, I just felt like there was a flower inside of me, and I felt it bloom. And the teachers were eating it up,
I'm
and
sure they
they had
did.
hearts coming out of their eyes, and I was
I'm
like, oh my God,
sure.
like she's in, and I hate it, and I'm not that person. And but she's in, and she is Hadley. I forgot her last name. She's famous right now anyway. She's the lead of
Okay. Yeah.
Moxie. She's very famous, successful, and there were so
Mhm.
many people like that. And then also in my final callback team, there was me and Fala Chen were the only 2 Asian women. And
Mhm.
I thought to myself, okay, like they're not going to take both of us. They're going to pick one. And then they picked her, which is fair because she was a celebrity, and she is a celebrity now as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, is grad school super political in that way too?
I mean, I think back then it was still like, oh, you would have some diversity, but you would pick one of each and then
Mm.
fill the rest with white
Yeah.
people. That was kind of the vibe. I feel like you could have maybe 2 black people, 2 or 3, but like Asian, you would probably have one. You would definitely not have 2 Asian women in one class.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the year after, I applied to NYU, Yale, Juilliard, and ART, which is at Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
then I didn't get into anywhere else other than ART, so I went there, and I really had a good time there. I had a really, really good time. I'm kind of looking back, I'm kind of grateful that I maybe didn't get to go to Juilliard, mostly because it's a 4-year program and ART was 2 years, and I'm now at a point where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have gone to grad school at all. So I feel like 4 years would have been too long. But I really felt like my grad school experience, it very much felt like I was already an adult and I was working with the teachers as peers as opposed to, oh my God, like, daddy, please, like, tell me, did I do well? Like, so that was a very good experience. And I think ART had teachers that had very good boundaries, and they were professional, and the vibe was not like, oh, you come under our wings and we'll tell you if you're worthy or not. It
Mhm.
was more like, let's
Mm-hmm.
collaborate as artists.
Yeah. No, that had to feel so refreshing, that you were looked at as an equal, right? Like another artist, like a developing artist rather than a student or somebody who has to be kind of, yeah, like reined in or generally looked down upon by a teacher, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I think I'm sure because it's grad school and people are a little bit older, that dynamic naturally happens. But I think Juilliard was not like that. I think Juilliard was still very much like, oh, we're an institution that's going to take you in, and then you have to live up to our standards. And like, we're very intense, but very kind, but very intense.